Welcome to my channel, The World Coin. Today videos is one you won't to miss. We're diving into the world of coins. I have 2 videos of £1. So, let's get it. The 1983 £1 coin holds a unique and significant place in the numismatic history of the United Kingdom, not merely as a form of currency, but as a cultural artifact that reflects a period of economic transition, technological advancement, and symbolic representation of national identity. Introduced into general circulation on 21 April 1983, the coin was the first modern $1 coin issued in the United Kingdom, replacing the £1 banknote which had been in decreasing usage since the mid-1970s. This transition was part of a broader modernization of British coinage during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, and the decision to introduce a durable, round coin over the delicate and short-lived paper note was driven by a number of practical, economic, and logistical considerations. The one coin was not only created to be more cost-effective over time due to its longer lifespan, but also to combat the increasing problems of counterfeiting and wear and tear that afflicted paper money. In the early 1980s, with inflation gradually being curbed under Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher's government, but still high by historical standards, the need for a sturdy, high-value coin became increasingly apparent. The Royal Mint, the institution responsible for the production of British coinage, undertook a complex planning process in the late 1970s and early 1980s, assessing potential designs, alloys, and public reception, before settling on the final coin that entered circulation in 1983. The design of the 1983 $1 coin was intended to convey authority, heritage, and continuity, while also allowing for future flexibility and regional representation. The reverse side of the 1983 issue, which is perhaps its most iconic and easily recognized feature, was designed by Eric Sewell, then chief engraver of the Royal Mint. Sewell's design features the royal coat of arms of the United Kingdom, an intricate and heraldically rich symbol that includes a shield bearing the arms of England, Scotland, and Ireland, supported by the English lion and the Scottish unicorn. Above the shield rests the royal crown, completing the heraldic tableau. This design was a deliberate choice to represent the entire United Kingdom, as the 1983 issue marked the beginning of a series of $1 coins that would, in subsequent years, highlight the individual nations, England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. The legend on the reverse reads, £1, inscribed clearly to communicate the denomination. The obverse side features the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by Arnold Machin. This effigy, originally introduced in 1968 for decimal coinage, shows the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, and facing right, a traditional alternation in direction that dates back centuries in British coinage. The legend around the obverse reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 1983, abbreviating the Latin De Gratia Regina Fide Defensor, meaning, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This inscription not only conveys the monarch's religious and constitutional role but also links the coin to Britain's centuries-old numismatic traditions. In terms of physical specifications, the 1983 1 coin was minted in nickel brass, an alloy comprising 70% copper, 24.5% zinc, and 5.5% nickel. This combination gave the coin its characteristic golden hue, which was instantly distinguishable from the silver-colored cupro nickel coins of lower denominations. The coin had a diameter of 22.5 mm, a thickness of 3.15 mm, and a weight of 9.5 grams. These proportions were designed for easy handling and machine identification. Importantly, the coin featured a milled edge with the inscription Decus et Tudamen, which translates from Latin as an ornament and a safeguard. This phrase, first used on coins of Charles II in the 17th century, serves a dual purpose. It is both decorative and acts as a deterrent against clipping, a fraudulent practice in which small amounts of metal were shaved off the edges of coins. The edge inscription also added an additional layer of authenticity and served as a tactile identifier for the visually impaired. While the design, dimensions, and metallic composition were consistent across all standard circulation coins, special editions, including proof versions intended for collectors, were also minted to a higher quality, often with sharper detail and more polished fields. From an economic standpoint, the introduction of the $1 coin in 1983 can be seen as part of the United Kingdom's broader effort to modernize its currency in line with evolving technological and fiscal realities. The Bank of England had issued the one note in various forms since the 18th century, and while cherished by the public for its portability and tradition, it had become increasingly uneconomical to produce and maintain. Notes wore out rapidly, lasting only about 9 months in circulation, compared to coins which could last over 40 years. Moreover, the move to coins was aligned with similar trends across Europe, where high-denomination coins were becoming more commonplace. The decision to release the coin on April 21, 1983, the birthday of Queen Elizabeth II, was symbolic as well as practical, reinforcing royal continuity and drawing public attention to the new currency. The initial public response was mixed. While some appreciated the durability and design of the coin, others lamented the disappearance of the more elegant and traditional paper note. However, over time, the one coin gained acceptance and became a familiar fixture in the nation's wallets, tills, and vending machines. In terms of minting figures, the Royal Mint produced over 443 million £1 coins in 1983, making it one of the most widely minted coins in modern British history for a single year and type. This large number was necessary to ensure a smooth transition from note to coin and to meet demand across the UK. The coins were minted at the Royal Mints facility in Llantrisant, South Wales, a state-of-the-art complex that had become the centre of British coin production following the decimalisation process of 1971. Alongside the standard circulation strike, the Royal Mint also issued brilliant, uncirculated BU coins, proof sets, and collector editions, often packaged in special display cases or folders, which have become popular items in the numismatic community. The proof coins, in particular, were struck multiple times with polished dies to create a mirror-like finish and sharply detailed imagery, appealing to both domestic and international collectors. From a numismatic perspective, the 1983 one coin holds a special place as the inaugural piece in what became a highly collectible and nationally symbolic series. Over the next few decades, the Royal Mint would issue annually rotating reverse designs celebrating the different constituent nations of the UK, often featuring heraldic emblems such as the English oak, the Scottish thistle, the Welsh dragon, and the Irish flax plant. But the 1983 version, with its pan-national royal arms, stands as the original benchmark from which this tradition grew. Collectors prize this coin not only for its historical significance, but also for its design purity and connection to a moment of economic and political transformation in Britain. Particularly sought after are uncirculated and proof editions, especially those housed in original Royal Mint packaging, which can fetch higher premiums in the collector market. The coin also serves as a fascinating study in coin evolution. Over the years, due to increasing levels of counterfeiting, the Royal Mint eventually withdrew the round $1 coin from circulation in 2017 and replaced it with a bimetallic 12-sided version, dubbed the world's most secure coin. Nevertheless, the 1983 coin remains a nostalgic and iconic piece, symbolizing a different era in British monetary history. Errors and anomalies related to the 1983 £1 coin are relatively rare, but they do exist and are of high interest to specialized collectors. Among the more sought-after errors are coins with off-center strikes, die cracks, or missing edge inscriptions, which are valuable due to their rarity. Another interesting variant includes proof coins mistakenly struck using circulation dies, or those with unusual toning effects due to improper storage or chemical exposure. However, due to the large mintage, counterfeit coins are known to exist, and care must be taken when assessing authenticity. Expert verification through weight, dimensions, metal analysis, and visual inspection is recommended for anyone looking to trade or appraise high-value specimens. Culturally, the 1983 one coin represents more than just a monetary tool. It embodies British resilience, adaptability, and reverence for tradition. Its introduction occurred during a time of significant political and social change. The early 1980s were marked by economic reform, privatization, and the redefinition of Britain's place in a post-industrial global economy. It also coincided with the burgeoning of the European Economic Community, EEC, prior to the debates that would lead to Brexit decades later. In this sense, the coin also serves as a symbol of British identity within a larger European context. Its imagery, the royal arms, Latin inscriptions, regal effigy, evokes a monarchy that had endured centuries, yet was adapting to the realities of modern governance and economy. For many citizens and collectors, the 1983 one coin holds nostalgic Value, recalling a time when change, both literal and metaphorical, was in their hands. In conclusion, the 1983 £1 coin stands as a landmark in modern British coinage, representing a pivotal moment of transition in both monetary policy and national identity, with its dignified design, robust. The 1993 £1 coin issued by the United Kingdom stands as a particularly notable example within the long and evolving lineage of British decimal coinage, embodying not only the technical precision of the Royal Mint, but also the cultural, historical and national symbolism that defined the United Kingdom in the final decade of the 20th century. Minted during the reign of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, the coin represents a critical juncture in British numismatic history, when the UK was navigating post-Thatcher economic restructuring, deepening ties with the European Union prior to Brexit, and expanding its visual identity through heraldic and national symbols on its circulating coinage. The 1993 1 coin features a reverse design that forms part of a 4-year cycle of coins dedicated to the constituent nations of the United Kingdom: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. For the year 1993, the coin celebrated England, with a reverse design by Norman Silman, an accomplished British sculptor and coin designer, who intricately crafted a heraldic depiction of the Three Lions Passant Gardant, or more formally, Three Lions Passant Gardant in pale azure, set against a richly textured background. This emblem traces its roots back to the Plantagenet kings, notably Richard I, the Lionheart, in the 12th century, and remains a lasting symbol of England, representing strength, courage, and royal authority. Silman's design effectively captures centuries of heraldic tradition within the confines of a compact metal disc, using relief, linework, and texture to evoke a tangible sense of England's enduring national character. The obverse of the coin, as was standard for British coinage of the time, bears the fourth definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maklouf and in use from 1985 to 1997. Maklouf's effigy, characterized by its idealized and regal portrayal of the monarch, presents the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, which is set with diamonds, pearls, crosses, and floral motifs representing the United Kingdom. The portrait faced right, following the tradition of alternating the monarch's profile direction with each successive reign. Around the portrait is the legend, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 1993, which translates from Latin as Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This invocation of divine legitimacy and national leadership reflects the long-standing fusion of monarchy, religion, and state in British constitutional practice. The edge inscription of the coin further reinforces its nationalistic theme. It reads, Decus et tutemen, Latin for an ornament and a safeguard, a phrase used on British coinage since the 17th century, during the reign of Charles II. Originally introduced as a safeguard against the then common practice of clipping, where small amounts of precious metal were shaved from the edges of coins, the phrase had, by the late 20th century, become a traditional numismatic feature that still echoed the origins of Britain's monetary evolution from hammered to milled coinage. Technically, the 1993 1 coin adheres to the specifications established in 1983, when the 1 coin was first introduced to replace the paper pound note. It is struck in nickel brass, a composition of 70% copper, 24.5% zinc, and 5.5% nickel, giving it a distinct golden color. The coin has a diameter of 22.5 millimeters, a weight of 9.5 grams, and a thickness of 3.15 millimeters, with a milled edge incorporating the aforementioned inscription. The 1993 issue had a relatively moderate mintage of 33,753,000, making it neither exceptionally rare nor overly common, though its design and age have made it a valued item in many collectors' portfolios, especially those aiming to complete the full UK nations and regions $1 coin set issued between 1984 and 1997. It is also of particular interest to those who collect coins by heraldic theme, or who seek complete yearly collections of circulating UK coins. As part of the broader context, the introduction of the 1 coin in the early 1980s was an economic measure as well as a practical one. The coin's longer lifespan compared to the banknote significantly reduced replacement costs for the Treasury, while also allowing the Royal Mint to express national identity through a rotation of culturally significant imagery. The 1993 issue contributed to this ongoing visual and symbolic narrative by reaffirming England's central heraldic tradition, and it remained in active circulation until the coin's eventual demonetization in 2017, when it was replaced by the new 12-sided bimetallic 1 coin with enhanced security features to combat counterfeiting. In numismatic markets today, the 1993 1 coin is moderately sought after. Circulated examples usually trade for marginally above face value, but uncirculated, UNC, or brilliant uncirculated, BU coins, particularly those in Royal Mint presentation packs, can command significantly higher prices depending on condition, packaging, and completeness of a collection. Proof sets issued by the Royal Mint in 1993 often included this coin in superior finish, where dies were specially polished and handled with care to produce a mirror-like surface and sharper detail. Collectors particularly value error coins, such as those with misaligned dies, double striking, or edge lettering anomalies, though such specimens are exceedingly rare. Importantly, 1993 was also a year in which British coinage was transitioning to feature greater diversity in its themes, and the £1 coin series helped pave the way for later commemorative issues across all denominations, culminating in the explosion of numismatic interest in the 2000s and 2010s that introduced designs celebrating everything from the Royal Navy to Shakespeare. From a cultural and symbolic standpoint, the 1993 1 coin reflects the persistent role of heraldry in modern British identity. The three lions motif remains a core visual emblem for England, often seen in sporting contexts, such as the England national football team's crest, national celebrations, and even political discourse surrounding English heritage and autonomy. Its appearance on the 1993 1 coin situates it within a continuity of state-sponsored representation, where metal coinage serves not only as a medium of exchange, but also as a carrier of historical memory and national mythos. Norman Silman's design distilled over 800 years of English symbolism into a design small enough to fit in the palm of one's hand. And yet, for those who look closely, it carries with it the weight of dynastic power, medieval warfare, and the forging of a kingdom that would one day become a global empire. As a whole, the 1993 £1 coin is a microcosm of late 20th century British numismatics, precise, evocative, and rich in historical layering. It encapsulates the aesthetic and functional evolution of modern coinage, showcases the artistry of heraldic representation, and serves as a tangible reminder of England's place within the broader mosaic of the United Kingdom. In an era marked by political uncertainty and growing national introspection, this coin and others like it functioned as small but potent affirmations of identity, sovereignty, and continuity. Though demonetized in 2017 and no longer legal tender, the 1993 1 coin endures in collections, museums, and the hearts of enthusiasts as a golden token of England's storied past, its lions still marching boldly across the fields of numismatic memory. So please like, share, and comment on this video and make sure to subscribe my channel.